What's up, everybody? Jason, Venture Radio Off-Grid. Driving the farm truck into town today. We got the privacy fence modified to keep the goats out finally. I won that battle. I mean, they've been blotting for a couple of days straight, so I'm not going to give myself the full victory. The battle has been won. The war probably continues. Fiona's pretty crafty, so I'm sure she'll figure out a way to get on her mom's shoulders and hurl over top of the extensions we just made. So we'll figure that out in the next couple of days. Give them a week. If they don't take down the walls, then we're successful. But yeah, I'm working on a chicken coop next. We picked up 10 chickens and a turkey. So 10 chickens so far, plus a turkey. Gonna do a 4 by 8 4 foot by 8 foot, just rectangular, almost like a rabbit hutch, chicken coop. I don't make them all fancy and look like houses. It's pretty unpractical. A lot of wasted money on making them look pretty. I don't make things very pretty. I make them sturdy. So it's about a 4 by 8 foot structure. 4 foot wide is a little ridiculous. I may change that once I see the platform laid in front of me, but we're going to do 10 chickens to start with. The most chickens we've ever had. We had chickens for several years up in Big Bear, California, on our little mountain place we lived at for about 5 years, 4.5 years for me, a little longer for the ex. But yeah, we had 10 chickens at our peak there, and this gave us a lot of eggs. I mean, enough eggs to keep us well fed on eggs and busy. And so we had no problems there. Got someone calling in. Can't take a call, sorry, I'm yapping. But yeah, so we're doing 10 chickens and 1 turkey. I don't know what we're doing with the turkey. They've been saying, can you eat it? I guess we can. So I'm new to raising animals for food. I've had chickens for eggs, grown vegetables. Obviously, get the meat at the store like every other person when I'm a consumer. Eventually, I like to, transfer that into maybe meat rabbits, meat birds potentially, plus birds for eggs. But I also want to do some hunting. Jackrabbit is something I want to pursue. Deer and elk down the road, antelope, whatever's available. We got all of it up here, so I want to get into some hunting pretty soon. And I've just never done it before. I bought a nice hunting rifle about a year and a half ago to go hunting up with my brother, potentially in Texas, or some buddies I have up in Idaho. They actually hunt, got mountain lions and wolves, all kinds of stuff. People pay you to come out to their property and get rid of, eradicate some of these massive wolves up there that have been reintroduced to the area that goes sport killing and teaching their young on people's herds of cattle. So they'll have to try and get rid of those if they can. They'll pay you to come out there and help them out. But anyway, so I bought a nice hunting rifle for that pursuit. Haven't used it yet. Pretty nearby. I've shot it. I just haven't gone hunting. Sorry. Got too many guns that have time to shoot them. Good problem to have. But yeah, so I mean, for now we're doing the chicken coop. 4 by 8 will be like a triple stack rectangle. Just 2x4, 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 treated on the bottom, just a basic frame, run some chicken wire around it, and then frame it in, run chicken wire, run some furring strips to make it look a little bit more put together, make a little nesting box in there, and just keep it real simple, and a little chicken run on the bottom level. So I'll start that probably tomorrow. I'm heading into town right now. This thing is shaky. Sorry about that, guys. We're in a big farm truck, and it's on mudders, 35-inch mudders cruising in on the asphalt. So not the smoothest ride. But yeah, we're heading into town today, buy some supplies. Gonna get some roofing panels to finish off the goat barn finally. I'm gonna build an overhang on that, about 8 foot wide by maybe 8 to 10 foot out tops, and kind of like a little, I don't know what you call it, just an overhang basically. We'll put some shelves in there to store. We'll put a back wall and a half side wall. I'll explain that as I do that tomorrow, between now and Sunday. So hopefully between now and Sunday, I'll get the goat barn will have a roof over the patio portion. The last sliver of the roof that I never finished from months ago before this weather all hit will be done. And then I'll build this little patio, little offset that's going to go on the left side of it if you're looking at it, to give us some room to store hay and alfalfa and just some outdoor type supplies, kind of like a little open barn, I guess carport almost kind of thing, but just off the side of the goat barn, and give them an area to kind of relax out there since we kicked them off the deck, and go from there. But yeah, so hopefully goat barn will be pretty much locked up by Sunday. and looking good and looking done, all duck lip photo worthy. I'll get the goats to do some of that, and we'll do some selfies with the ducks, with the goats with their duck lips. I don't know if they know how to do that. We'll try it, and then we'll start on the chicken coop, and then the next thing up is a hoop house. Hesitant if I want to build a hoop house or a actual greenhouse. The hoop house has been my design for a while on this small property, and we'll duplicate all this stuff on the large property in the next year and a half when we get out back to our off-grid property. I'm going to meet with a solar guy, a local guy is really cool, a guy named Larry. I don't know the name of his business. He does solar locally off the Highway 61 out here in Concho area, between Cholo and Concho. But trying to meet with him on some solar ideas for my shop, and then get some more solar ideas for the main property when we get out there in the next year and a half or so, like the plan is. But heading to Home Depot right now, so I'm going to have to probably just leave a kidney at the front door to go buy a few supplies. Unfortunately, I have to go over to Lowe's as well. I say unfortunately, I'm just not a big fan of Lowe's. I think it's kind of like the girly version of Home Depot. Maybe some people think the opposite. I just feel like I go in there, it's a bunch of super nice people that don't know anything about anything, even worse than Home Depot, and it's just got a lot of hoity-toity stuff. So I might get some backlash on that, but I'm good with that too. It's my personal opinion. I'm entitled to it. But yeah, so I got to go to Lowe's for the panels because they don't have them at Home Depot, and then I'll go over to Home Depot and get some fasteners and some other supplies that I need to finish off these couple projects. So I'll see what we come up with between now and Sunday. So I'm just going to be building. My other truck's still down, waiting on some parts to come in on my dually. I've been did a couple of deliveries in the farm truck recently locally, which works out great. That's what this truck is supposed to be intended for, my 7.3 extra cab I got back recently. So for an off-road delivery or going into town today for Home Depot, perfect truck for that. So have the trailer locked up already on it, so I figure why not go into Home Depot and grab these roofing panels that are like 12 foot long. I hate having 4 or 5 feet of a material hanging out the back of the truck when I'm going down the highway or a van or anything like that. So I think like I said, I was taking advantage of the fact that I was already hooked up to the trailer and going into town to pick up those panels. So hopefully about 2 weeks out from going back out to the tiny house on the main property and using some more of that Tyvek wrap or whatever the brand is. I think it was Tyvek or one of those companies. I still got a big roll of that stuff from when I did it the first time, and I got to redo the wrap. Half the wrap is flown off the house. Well, not half of it. About the core of the wrap is flown off the house. So I'm going to wait for a non-windy day, which is rare around here, unfortunately. A non-windy day and go up there and basically rewrap the tiny house, the 12 by 16 foot tiny house. And then I have all the exterior panels basically to finish that. So I'm going to go up there and rewrap it, kind of button up some little like things here and there that I didn't get to on the last couple of outings up there a while back. And then I'm going to go ahead and side the exterior all the way up to the crown, trim off the interior, and it'll technically look like a nice, cute little cottage tiny house. So finally, so I'm going to probably do that in about maybe, let's see, we got March, April, May, probably between now and the second week of May, go up there and finish that up. So there are people that are in the off-grid thing on here and got to my channel originally from that and are frustrated by the on-grid stuff. You get to see some off-grid building, so it's coming up pretty soon. So you'll see us out there suffering with the wind and the heat and the elements, just like everyone likes to see on these channels. We see you having problems. So like I said, that property hasn't been abandoned. The one we're in right now is a investment property for me. If you haven't figured out by now, I got a million irons in the fire. That's how I work. I got all kinds of things going on at all times. The small property, like I said, I bought it outright. It was very inexpensive. I can flip it when I'm done for a healthy profit, a ridiculous profit, more than I would have made working this year. So it's better to work on that for a year and a half and flip it and make more money than I would have working a conventional job that I wouldn't want to work anyway. Let alone I'm most likely going to turn it into a rental property along with a couple other rental properties around here. And people always warn me, oh, landlord, this and that, bad tenants. I'm not really worried. It's not like it's out of sight, out of mind. If I do rental properties up here, which is a small plan of mine, I'm going to be living, within 5 to 6 miles, 10 miles of my property. So I'll keep an eye on them and I'll get good tenants in there. There's good people out there that rent. I was a good renter my entire life, so I can't say that renters are all horrible or it's all, horror stories. So And I said I'll be active with that as far as being communication. I'm the handyman, so if I'm renting a place out, I'm the plumber, I'm the electrician, I'm the landscaper, I'm the building code dude, I'm everything. So I'll be actively involved with my rentals. So I don't foresee it being an issue like some people have mentioned from other people mentioned I've talked to here and there, so or comments here and there. So anyway, also if my kids decide that they want to live that lifestyle plugged into the grid, I'm not going to tell them they can't. I'll give them the opportunity to do so. If they want to live that lifestyle, they can basically they can set up or take over one of the houses, the house we're in right now, or a house. I'll put a house on one of the properties we own, the other couple properties. So I don't want to pamper my kids, or they're not useful in things. They're very useful kids. They're very helpful. They're very smart. They're very mechanically inclined, like I am, as far as being able to make things with their hands. They're also really good with like computer stuff, things like that. Some more new age stuff, which is good to have that balance. But they may not like that rural lifestyle. I can't see why not. The plan is to take that tiny house and turn it into like a guest house down the road for people visiting. Well, let's say my kids wanted to have their own tiny houses. I give one that one, and my other boy, they build another one. So there's things like that. The idea of the 40-acre property is to live there till I die. Hopefully that's a long time from now, but we don't have any guarantees. But the idea from that property is, if my brother wanted to move out there, my brothers, my mom and dad, my ex-mother-in-law, my family members, or my close friends, I got 40 acres. I don't mind putting a tiny house over there, or come build your own place. I'll give you a 1 acre, 100-year lease, and you can live on the corner of the property and enjoy life and leave the rat race behind if you want to. Good people that I like or that I want to be around. They want to be around me too. I'm kind of a handful. So if you guys haven't figured out, I'm pretty stubborn and set in my ways, and that's the nice thing about being my age, and I guess, or just any age basically, but my mindset that I don't give a fuck what anyone thinks about what I say. So I pretty much do what I want. That's what life's about. I'm not here to cater to everyone around me or worry about what people think about me, or cry a river about little things that I can't control or I can't do nothing about. So that's part of me moving out to this area in the first place, is to live rural, live self-sufficient. Obviously I'm not there yet. I could be there tomorrow if I wanted to, as far as just put the investment and going for it. I took a couple steps back to do some investment properties like I mentioned earlier in this video. So I'm just changing things around a little bit. So off-grid property, hopefully between now and the middle of May, we'll see that tiny house come to fruition. And by fruition, I mean it's already dried in, but just finish off the look of it. Start working on a deck. I'm going to do a side deck and a front deck on there, so it'll have like two sides of it. It'll be a fully developed deck, with barbecue, the whole 9 yards, sit and entertain or eat or whatever else on there. Enjoy that as far as it goes, and then the inside will end up getting insulated, and it will get. I'm not going to do heavy electrical in there by any stretch of imagination. I'm going to do a solar system out there. Like I said, maybe I'll do a separate solar system for that tiny house, as opposed to the main system that will run everything. That's a potential, I guess, just to get things going, to make that place self-sufficient. I already have a pretty good-sized water tank out there for the tiny house, and I plan to add several other water containment containers in that to the property, as well as water catchment on everything. The tiny house will do water catchment. The goat barn out there will do catchment. The greenhouse will have catchment. The chicken coop will have catchment. Anything I do out there will have water catchment. We won't be drilling a well anytime soon out there, and we will rely heavily on seeing, can we get enough water caught, when the water comes down, to be self-sufficient, not have to worry about drilling a well out there anytime soon. So that's the idea I'm going with, and I think that'll work out just fine. No issues. Sorry, I'm getting a little turn in here with the farm truck and my trailer and crap everywhere. Trying not to run anyone over. I tell you what, my tint on these windows is so bad, I can barely even see out the windows. I need to get those things redone. I almost thought, well, I'll just learn how to tint windows, but honestly, between all my projects and everything else, do I really have any time to learn how to tint windows? I don't think so. But anyway, just ranting and hanging out, driving in town. I just got to Walmart, of all places. Talk about consumerism. So self-sufficient desires, but I'm going to Walmart, where Basically, they underpay people to provide you with Chinese crap that at half the price of anything else ever made in the world. Everything is under one gigantic roof. This one here has a hair salon, a tax person, an eye doctor. It's like a mini mall in there. Anyway, so exact opposite of what I'm trying to go for in life. But I mean, it serves a purpose, man. I mean, cheap junk. Unfortunately, we're all kind of conditioned to that. It's something cheap that'll just get you by and make things work. I mean, here it goes. But yeah, I'm heading into Walmart, get some supplies, some basic stuff for the house, and then I'm heading over to Home Depot, and then I'm heading back home, and then tomorrow I'll start on I'll finish the goat barn by this weekend. I'll probably start on the chicken coop tomorrow, because half the supplies for the chicken coop are in the van. So until I get them out of the van, if I pull them out of the van to store them, I got to go move them somewhere. If I pull them out and build something with them, then I have room in the van to go pick up more crap. Also, I'm starting a project on the van. So my white van, I'm going to be doing some side pocket kind of build outs over the wheel wells in there that can suspend a sleeping platform for like a queen size bed in there to use for camping. We're going to try and use the farm truck I'm in right now as the runner, like I'm doing right now, running errands and ripping a trailer around town. And then we're going to use the van for camping specifically. And I actually I'm building the white van in between all these other projects and weather, and I will be doing, I'll be lifting that van as well. And then I'm probably going to sell both my vans and look for an ambulance next, or a extended body 6.0 diesel or extended body 7.3 diesel, which might seem crazy to some people. I have an extended body gasser right now. I'm just not really blown away with the performance of the gas motor. I just have so many diesels, and even though I hate paying the price to keep a diesel maintained and upgrades and things like that, I love the way they perform and what they can tow. So I think I'm going to get rid of my 6.0 diesel because it's a short body, and I don't want to do the body swap to get an extended. I guess I could. It'd probably be smarter to do that and then transfer parts, but that we'll cross that bridge when I get there. Or I sell it as is, make a couple dollars off of it, get my investment back, get someone a badass van. I sell my white extended body gasser. If they're both just mated, they'd be perfect. And then I shop for either, like I said, an extended body 6.0 van or an extended body 7.3 van, or ideally, I think I'd love to find a diesel ambulance van front, the box style. Those boxes are put through a rigorous testing procedure as far as getting into the quality they are. They're very safe. They're very well built. And I would do something like that and lift it. And down the road, I'd 4x4 convert it, and I'd have a lifted 4x4 ambulance that would just be badass. Anyway, ranting and just yapping, but that's what I'm doing. That's my day. That's my update. So stay tuned the next couple of days. We'll do a chicken coop, and then we will be working on finishing the goat barn. And then I have a pretty cool project coming up for like a pole barn design built off of a shipping container. So I'll probably share that on this channel, but also share that on our Max Transport channel. If anyone follows the channel, our Doberman Max passed away back in August, and I decided I was going to change my little side hustle business here to Max Transport. So I just got business cards made and just got stuff out for that. So you get little flyers here too. But yeah, so I just started what was called Max Transport, and that's my shipping container stuff. So boom, there it is, Max Transport. So anyway, I'm changing that over to that particular name and that particular channel. I have a Max Transport YouTube channel I just started. It's got 4.5 people watching it, but I'm going to start putting all my shipping containers for sale on there. Process, procedure, all modifications, things like that I do in the future. I have a big plan in the future with shipping containers as another side gig, just modifying them. I've mentioned it before on the channel. Doing a storage facility with them, selling them as they are right now, buying and selling and delivering them, but also modifying them into hunting shacks and tiny sheds and she sheds and things like that. So I'm working on that kind of stuff as well, getting that all lined up right now. I got a good lineup on a couple different providers for containers now down in Southern California. Instead of just going through one person like I was before, I've branched out and I've been doing a lot of footwork and seed planting. So, but yeah, I do have a plan on the property I'm on right now, getting rid of my 2 containers I have, bringing a 40-foot container in and building like a pole barn design off it. And I'll probably draw it up on a napkin and show you the napkin and be like, what the hell? And then make it come to real life. That's what I do. I draw stick figure crap on napkins and somehow build them eventually. But anyway, rant, and going and rambling. But yeah, I got a few things going on as usual, and I'll keep you guys posted as they become reality. And I'm not in a hurry. I mean, things have taken a lot longer than I expected out here. I really thought I'd be out on my own land in my Weekend Warrior travel trailer I had, me and the kids just building, and things have changed in life. Nothing for the worse, just little sidetracks here and there, side projects and side hustles and changes of plans, and that's what life is, you know. I can tell you this past year, my life's been way more relaxed, way more fun, way more fulfilling, way more rewarding than almost any year in the past. And I've done some great things in my life and had great experiences with my family, and even in the workplace and hobbies and racing, you know, history, motocross, things like that. I mean, camping, you know, family life, whatever. I've done some really cool things. I can tell you, getting out here this last year, or this full year, the year leading up to it, the projects and stuff, and then now being out here full time up in Northeast Arizona, it's been just phenomenally rewarding. I mean, it's just it's so much less pressure, so much better than I was living in California, and such less hustle and bustle. And I mean, not everyone in California is a bad person, but there's a lot of shitheads down there. And it's not just California. You get congestion. It's like, you know, if you have crime, the more people you have, the more crime. The more congestion you have, the more crime, the more bad attitudes. I drive down to California regularly for work. I can tell you, I never get yelled at by some random asshole in traffic around here, no matter what you do. You cut someone off like, hey, sorry, you know, big deal. I mean, California, you just make one wrong turn, one wrong blinker, one honk of a horn. I've had people get out of their car, want to fight me and things like that. It's like, people are nuts, man. It's not just California, it's congestion. If you get people congested like that, you're always going to be like a powder keg. People are going to want to pop. You know, it's going to be, had a bad day. You came across that person, you have nothing to do with it, but now you're the person they want to take it out on. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not afraid of anyone trying to take out anything on me. Bring it. You know what I mean? Like, I don't say bring it like I want it, but bring it on me. I can diffuse it better than the guy next to me. Maybe it's better that I deal with you than you hurt someone else or act like an asshole to your girlfriend or your wife or your kids. But anyway, I mean, the congestion is it, man. I mean, if you guys don't like the way you're living right now, and maybe some of you do, get out of debt. Get out of congestion. Get out of that city structure. I mean, we're on the main street here. I have everything. There's a Walmart. There's a Home Depot looking at a Lowe's. There's every gas station. There's fast food. So I have all this 25 miles from my properties. You know, I mean, but when I'm at my properties, this doesn't even exist to me. Like, it doesn't affect me. There's no hustle and bustle. There's no traffic. I mean, there's no nothing. So I'm not saying it's perfect for everyone. Some people want to be in that mix. They want to chase that dollar. They want to get out to that club at night, that bar. They want to go out and see the scene and chase girls, chase guys. They want to be, you know, in the move. They want to go to concerts, go to football events. I mean, that's great. I mean, like, if all that entertainment entertains you, that's great. If you recognize that that's a distraction from living your, like, real course of life or what you'll be doing in the future, or if you have kids, what you could provide for them, you know, granted, I mean, some people want their kids to be a ball star or a motocross racer or something like that, or a superstar or a celebrity. That's great. You know, I mean, if you want to keep up that lifestyle, I think we're not intended to live that lifestyle, in my personal opinion. It took me a lot of years to recognize that. There's still money in regular jobs up here in rural areas, so I can go work a regular job and live a regular life, like typical people in society. But I can tell you, man, living rural, living a little bit more out on the sticks, living with more, I would call them country folk, where I feel like my heart's at in the first place, man, I get much better response from people, much better interaction with people. People offer to help you all the time. People asking for help as well, but you help them in turn, and it feels good to do it. And it's not perfect. There's good and bad everywhere, but I can tell you, man, I've never been happier than this last year of my life getting the F out of the city, especially Southern California, with all the shithead politics and the shithead, horrible, fees to live there. And I mean, people saying, "Oh, I make so much money, I can't leave or I can never come back." You're never going to want to come back. Trust me. I can drive to California right now, go to the most expensive amusement park they want there, or go stay at a fancy hotel, or go whatever else. I can afford to do that because I don't live there. When you live there, your money's gone. You make six figures, and you may as well. You need to make you need to double that to, like, you need to make 200 plus, easily to even $100,000 ain't shit down there. 150,000 ain't shit down there if you want to run a family, or have a family you got to take care of, or have have to commute to work and things like that. Have a house bill. Anyway, ranting for sure right here, but I mean, guys, look at the mirror every now and then and just look at your life. It's not like an insult to you guys that aren't living, the way I live. I mean, my life, took me till I was almost, 40 years old to recognize I wanted this or needed this. But if you're in debt, you're making a $2,000 a month house payment, you're making a $600 a month car payment, you're spending $300 a month on insurance, $150 on the newest cell phone, and upgrading every time they tell you you've qualified. If you got credit card debt, you're spending $7 a gallon for diesel down there, or $6 a gallon for regular gas, or $5 a gallon, and you're just like taking it on the chin. Oh, but my job's here. There's jobs everywhere. The exact same shit job you have down there is available up here too. That same shitty job, that same crappy lifestyle is available if you want to find it. Sitting in traffic all day, every day. Anyone can comment on this channel and tell me I'm wrong. I will tell you 100% you are wrong. That's not what you're intended to do. If you could look yourself in the mirror and say, I was intended to be born into some weird society here on Earth, this alien ant farm project we're part of. I was intended to spend 12 hours a week in traffic to go work a job I don't necessarily enjoy. I like my job. Would you do it for free? No, then you don't like it. Work a job to pay for a car that you borrow money to buy, to pay for a cell phone that you're behind on a bill, to pay insurance every single month, even more because you're commuting, to pay for a home that you don't own and you're not even remotely close to owning, most people out there, that you sleep in for like 8 hours a night and it sits dormant for like 75% of its existence while you work to afford it. If you can look in the mirror and say that that's what you're here for, then power to you, man. Go for it. I feel bad for you that you're not going to ever experience like real freedom of time and life, and your kids are going to miss out on being around you because you're working your ass off like I used to. Anyway, I'd say wake up. If you got a plan, you got a dream, do it. Figure it out. Buy that land. Get the hell out of that city. Sell that expensive car and buy a used car that's practical or useful. Buy what you can afford. If you can afford to live lavish, go for it. I do pretty well. I don't have any problems. I'm cash free. I'd say debt free is your biggest thing. The closest thing to freedom we're gonna ever feel on this earth is going to be not having bills. If you have bills every single month, every single day, you have to show up to that job. If you have bills and you're up to your neck in debt, you have to abide by the new rules, the new norm, or whatever it may be in society. You got to wear a mask. You got to get a vaccine. You got to do all this stuff. Because guess what? They're holding that carrot in front of you, and they got you by the short hairs as far as it goes. If you don't owe anyone nothing, and they tell you to do something, you can give them one of these and do whatever the fuck you want. It's awesome. You can't do whatever the fuck you want, to some degree, but to some degree you can. So, like I said, went off the deep end from chicken coops to this. But I just look around, man. I see people make comments here and there on the comments or other channels I have, and man, they're just so strapped and are so like just a cog in like a crappy engine called society that they had no choice to be a part of. They just were put there, and they just take it on the chin over and over, and then they make a bunch of excuses of why it's they do that and why they exist that way and why it's just for now, or I'm just part of that. And like I said, I don't put judgment on anyone. I have friends that work full regular jobs, and I still love them and still care about them and still look forward to seeing them and hanging out with them. I can tell you, I just wish some of them would recognize earlier on, especially if kids. I mean, homeschool your kids. Know what they're learning. Adjust their learning program to stuff that you think is important for their future. You know better. You're living in the real world, so you know what they need to know. The school system doesn't give a rat's ass about that kind of stuff. So homeschool your kids. I'm working. Reduce your bills, reduce your outcome, reduce your investment. If it costs you $10,000 a month to exist, figure out where that $10,000 is and why you have to come up with that. Knock it down to $4,000 a month and have $6,000 extra. Hypothetically on those numbers. If you're putting out 75% of your income every month to exist, and then you're spending the rest of it on just kind of piddling away or fuel or whatever else. You're not really being able to save anything. Maybe it's time for an adjustment. And like I said, homeschool your kids, man. I'm huge on that. If you don't have the time, I don't have the time, this, that, I can't afford to. If you're going to give it to some random person to babysit your kids for like the next 12 years, that's on you. But those kids aren't going to be a reflection of you in 12 years. They're going to be a reflection of the state, the government, and politicians, and lobbyists and people who pay into the system to manipulate your children. You guys haven't figured it out by now by watching the news. The news is garbage, but take and get what you get. Do your own research, but that's not where you want your kids at. quit your damn day job, get a part-time job, get rid of your brand new car and your iPhone 37, and be able to afford to stay home with your kids and teach them something. Not even stay home, go somewhere and show them history in person. Drive them outside of the city grounds and go enjoy life, or just hear their voices, hear their laughter, and be around them. So yeah, long rant, life lessons. Wake up, everybody. A lot of people sleep at the wheel right now in a really corrupt country right now. All of our little civil rights are being infringed upon and being dwindled away, and people are just driving. Oh, I'm going to drive to my job. My boss, he gave me a raise after 5 years. Oh, I can almost afford my debt. Pull your head out of your butt and realize you're in control of nothing. Start taking control of what you can. Make a plan. Get out. Figure out a way to live on less, work less, and have more time. More time for yourself, more time for the people you care about, more time for experiences. On the last day, when we're ready to just flash away, I'm not a religious person, so I don't believe there's anything after this life. I literally believe in aliens over religion, so we can have a whole separate conversation on that. On the last day, I think you're going to have a flash for your experiences and who you experience those experiences with. So that's all that's important to me. What can you experience in this lifetime and who you experience those experiences with? If you're at work 40 hours a week for some dead-end job or dead-end career to pay a bunch of fees on a bunch of consumerism that you overspent on and you're in Hawk, are you really experiencing what you're truly here for, what you want to be here for, and are you experiencing being around those experiences with the people you want to? Most likely not. You're experiencing with people you didn't choose that you work with and you're stuck with, and there's no way you like all those people. That's just human nature, I get along with anyone, but most people don't get along with me because I don't waver and I don't falter. I can accept anyone for who they are. A lot of people don't accept me because I'm very stern in my opinions and the way I conduct myself. Well, the one thing with me you get is consistency. 47 years and haven't barely changed a lick. The things I felt as a teenager, back in my punk rock, skateboard and dirt biking days, 47 years, man, I still feel the exact same way. And the society's only proven me right years and years and years, over and over and over. So anyway, guys, be safe out there, be smart, start living, man, start enjoying life. There's a lot out there, a lot of cool stuff that you won't be able to see. You stay in that little society's grind. It's not as rewarding as people seem to think it is. It's not the way you want to do things. I mean, that's my opinion, but I feel like I'm right on the money. All right, take care.